to the Bet Victor Top 6 show. What a night we've got for you today. Man United appointing and getting their deal done for their interim Ralf Rangnick. Legitimately one of the dons of German football, one of the pioneers of the modern day game, joining United as their interim manager for 6 months and then going upstairs for a 2-year senior consultative role to essentially help drive the club in the right direction. We're going to be previewing Chelsea versus Man United, looking ahead of Arsenal versus Newcastle, taking a little trip down to White Hart Lane after another beating in the Europa Conference South. In the Europa Conference South, they were beat again tonight. Tottenham. Conte, what are you doing to me? His comments are hilarious as well. We've got loads to delve into. Of course, United fans, we want to hear from you on your news. Gooners, are you bouncing back this weekend? Chelsea fans, how are you thinking and feeling ahead of this weekend's games as well? Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace. We've got a great panel tonight. First of all, I want to introduce big Spurs fan, resident on the terrace. Now, a man like Patrick's in the house tonight.
Yo, yeah, well, I was happy to be here until obviously I was en route and then I saw the score. And yeah, it's embarrassing, man. I see the comments. You lot are cooking me already. It's not good. It's not good.
Absolutely. And we've got Daniel in the house. When we cut to the camera, we've got one of the biggest and most likable Arsenal fans on social media here. Also, a bit of a don when it comes to the singing and rapping. Went viral last year for essentially being upset about how Arteta was doing things. Man like Livz is in the house tonight. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro, man. You know, buzzing to be here.
Come on.
Some footy, you know.
I know.
Just hope some man don't get in their feelings, innit?
we don't do feelings on the Football Terrace. You know what I mean? It's a no echo chambers place. But look, boys, we've got to start with the big news today. Ralf In at Man United. The deal, just so the viewers know, the deal has been agreed between the manager or the man and Manchester United. They're still waiting for clearance from Lokomotiv Moscow to finalize it. He will also be bringing in, more breaking news tonight is, he will also be bringing in his assistant manager that's been with him throughout the ages, and they are looking at additional coaches as well. So it isn't just going to be Ralf with Carrick and McKenna running the training session still, Mike Phelan putting the cones down. They are looking for a good level overhaul in the coaching system as well. He's coming in. He's then going to go upstairs, one of the best technical directors in the world at Man United. I want to first go to Daniel on this. Of course, Chelsea fan, their team's flying high right now. What kind of news, like how do you take in this news as a rival about Ralf into United?
Look, you can be salty about it if you want, but really and truly what you have to understand is that Ralf Rangnick is not coming into Manchester United to be a coach. Of course, yes, he will handle the tactics for the 6-month period and the contract that he's obviously been given for the club. And he's going to clean up a lot of things. A lot of players will get better, of course. A lot of players will be able to take in just a fresh voice. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, when there's a new voice in the changing room, like a lot of players can improve and whatnot. But the one thing Ralf brings to Manchester United, and that's what I've tried to explain to a lot of people who don't understand why he's coming in, someone who hasn't managed the top club and all of this and that, is that he's someone that's got a vision, a plan in place. He's got a philosophy where so many managers, Tuchel, Nagelsmann, Klopp, Flick, so many German managers have based and predicated their systems on his books, on his teachings, on his philosophies. So he comes in and like basically refreshes the whole system, the whole hierarchy at Manchester United. And look, I think it maybe has come a bit too late, like in terms of competing for this season. However, when you're talking about long-term, that's what Man United were struggling with. They didn't have a long-term plan. So I think Man United fans can really be excited. As a rival fan who understands what Ralf can do to a club like Manchester United and bring structure to that team, I think, look, you lot could be really, you lot could be back next season, as soon as next season.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. I think it's tremendous, and it isn't just in the short term. I think with our squad, we're good enough to make the top 4 now. I felt like it was falling away with Ollie massively. I didn't believe Carrick could get us there, but legitimately, Ralf is a top level. He's a top level coach. I don't necessarily think he's a world-class football manager. That isn't where his skills lie. But in terms of implementing the system, his coaches will do things. There will be, in my opinion, that bounce coming out of this squad as well. And we've got so many technically gifted players, especially in our attack. I'm just excited now. Obviously, I want to get this. We'll preview the Chelsea game. Like, I want that out of the way first. I'm not looking forward to Stamford Bridge on Sunday. I'm going to be honest. But kind of after that, then it's nice to feel excited again as a Man United fan. It's nice to feel like there is a positive future ahead. Like, Livz, how about yourself? I mean, you saw the news today about this. Is it making you look at this Man United team differently, or do you think it's too soon to kind of get excited?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I understand why United fans right now they're excited. You know, that's big news. Ralf, obviously, like you said, this guy that's got lots of experience. You know, he's influenced the way Germans play football. You know what I mean? Like influencing a lot of top German coach of today, Klopp, Nagelsmann, and so and so. Tuchel as well. But I feel like right now, Manchester United also need to, if they're going to, obviously they've given him this role in this interim role, which is good. He's obviously going to go in there. A lot of the players will learn. And I feel like with Manchester United, I feel like the players knew that Oli wasn't really up for the task. And I feel like the talent is there. And now that Ralf is here, I feel like he can coach them and he can actually show them what's needed. Do you get me? What's needed to be for the next stage for where Manchester United need to go. But if he's gonna go upstairs, that's good news as well. But the right coach has to come in. Who can come in for Manchester United that can work well? With Ralf.
I was gonna say the biggest mistake Manchester United can make is if Ralf does well on the pitch. Then they're like, yeah, let's give it the manager.
Yeah.
But Ralf would be a mistake. I don't think Ralf would take it.
I'm telling you now,
he would take it.
I disagree.
I don't think he would take it.
Ralf, who's never managed
how it goes.
a club of the stature of Manchester United, suddenly has great form with them. They end the season well. They get Champions League football. He's like, do you know what? I think I can do this. Come on, bro. Think about it. We're all human beings at the end of the day.
I agree.
And he gets the chance to be in the board and also manage the club.
I agree that I worry about our club. This is where I worry about the Glazers, because this is where the Glazers have always let Manchester United down. Is they'll do something that looks good. That's a good bit of work by you, and then they go and ruin it 5 minutes later. What they need to do is stick to their guns, no matter how well he does. If he wins the Premier League and Champions League double, you still replace him. I'm being serious. I'm throwing out a very extreme. I'm throwing out an extreme example.
Terry, make sure you clip yourself.
Yeah, I never clip myself. I never clip myself ever. That ain't what I do. But I hear you. Like, for me, it's like, from my point of view, no matter how well he does, they've got to move him on. Equally, look, I would love a permanent manager in right now with Ralf going straight upstairs. That would be idealistically where I want to be. However, what's going to be interesting is whether or not Ralf has different ideas of who should be the next permanent Man United manager. If he doesn't think it's Poch, I'm going to listen to Ralf. I want to put my faith in him.
Yeah.
I want Man United to, for the first time since David Gill, have we got somebody that's competent in making football decisions. It's been a decade since Fergie left, and we have him here for 2 years. I beg and I pray that the Glazers just listen to him when it comes to football. Listen to Woodward and all those guys for the commercial deals. They know what they're talking about. But if you couple that right, our commercial power with great footballing decisions, with these owners, we can start winning major trophies again. We did under Fergie. When they listened to Fergie and David Gill, we won 3 Premier Leagues on the bounce. We won a Champions League in that time period. We won an FA Cup under them. And we won maybe we didn't actually. I think they took over, then we lost to Arsenal. I think we won the FA Cup just before they took over it when we beat Millwall, and we lost to Arsenal in the final the year later. But I feel like we won everything underneath them, essentially, with Fergie, and that can be done again. But Ralf, Ralf's that guy.
I feel like they relied on Fergie, though. The Glazers sat off, and Fergie was already in control. By the time they got to the club, by the time the Glazers got to the club, I feel like, Manchester United was set already. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fergie's had already laid the foundation down. Man United were already established as one of the best teams in the world. Do you get me? So I feel like the Glazers came in and thought, it's like something similar to the Kroenkes. The Kroenkes came in, they knew, we was kind of set under Wenger. We was a top team, Champions League every year, etc. They didn't really need to do anything. You know what I mean? They can just sit off. Because let's be real, even with Arsenal, no one needs to talk about the Kroenkes until it got years late, until it became years later. You know what I mean? Yeah. They came to the club 2007. No one was talking about the Kroenkes or what they're doing, etc. Yeah. That Kroenke talk only came is when people started to realize what's going on. Like, Wenger, are you the problem? Then, as people are starting to realize the Kroenkes are not funding Wenger, etc., then attention went on to does that make sense? Because now we've all woken up now. Do you get me? We're in a time where we're all woken up. There's like the social media that's happening. There's agents that are talking, insiders within the club. Everyone's always in a know. So there's more pressure towards the owners now when things ain't
yeah.
going right. So I feel like with the Glazers now, with that sign, with bringing in Ralf, that shows that, all right, cool, you know what? They're trying to compete. Let's be real. Because let's be real. Like when we brought in Mikel Arteta, someone that's never managed a team in his life, what does that really show? If just put Manchester United in that shoe. If Manchester United as a club right now brought in a coach that's never coached anyone in their lives, how do you think that can impact?
People were calling Arteta Pep's brains. When Arteta came in, people were saying that he was the brains behind Guardiola and this and that. We all knew,
but that was the narrative. That's what I'm saying. I never believed any of that.
So
it was just like that was like the only positives to take from it. Oh, he's learned from Pep.
Yeah, it was the spin, weren't it? And it was like when Aubameyang signed his new deal, and it was like, oh my god, you heard the rumors, like him and Arteta are like best friends, man. It's like, no, 350 grand a week. And we all knew that, but football clubs are about PR spin. And as happy as I am that Ralf's come in, and I'm excited about it, I err on the side of caution because I know my owners. And if you look at Arsenal was a great example, and I'm going to forget the guy's name. I want to say his name is Sven, but the head sort of scout and transfer guru, yes, from Dortmund. And I remember you signed 2 or 3 really promising players under him. And I remember doing a pod with DT. United were playing badly. You guys have started the season well. And there's a lot of talk about the structure now being right. And he was talking about how excited he is after the changes. After a few months, Sven left because clearly the way your owners were operating weren't giving him the freedoms he was promised. And he kind of walked away almost kind of unceremoniously and too quickly. There's a part of me that I want this to work first and foremost. I don't want things to fail so I can go, I told you the Glazers were rubbish. I want to win first. However, if we don't win and you get someone like Ralf walk away and he just says, this club is an absolute joke. Hopefully, again, it wakes up more Man United fans to doing the right thing and taking their money away from the club, because you need the Glazers to feel it and know that they have to do things right. The most painful bit about the Glazers, we've spent the money in the last 9 years to compete with everybody. We've spent in and around the same as every other club in the Premier League. Some might have spent 100 million more, some might have spent 100 million less, but we're all in that ballpark. And when you're one of the top 6 and you spend what we all spend, none of us are underdogs and none of us have an excuse. If you're run correctly and you do things right, you'll always have one bad managerial appointment. This striker didn't work. This young signing didn't develop like we wanted. But overall, you bounce back quickly. Arsenal and Man United and Spurs in the last couple of years have just been embarrassed by the development and consistencies at the Chelseas, at the Liverpools, and at the Man Cities. And people like Ralf, the likes of, it's meant to be happening at Spurs with Peditici and Conte coming in. I mean, the Europa League says different tonight. But at the end, conference. Yeah, you're right. Conference. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping there is this real good bounce now from Man United and steady progression. And I want to ask you a question on that, Patrick. You are a rival of Man United in the contemporary sense. Are you worried now about United being back?
The words right out of my mouth. I'm fucking worried, man. I'm really, really worried because Ralf is such a don when it comes to the football brains and how he runs as a team, how he sets them up. And if you get it right and appoint the right coach with him working his magic for 6 months and then going upstairs, you guys will be a force because the squad's already there. The players are there. If you just get the things right behind the scenes, I'm scared, man, because, like Tottenham, a club basically looking in or looking from the outside for the top 4. You've already got Chelsea, they're set. You got Liverpool, they're set. Man City is set. And we know United with that squad should be in there as well. So it's getting harder and harder to get back. And it looks like the gap's just getting harder and harder to get back in there, man. So I am worried because with Ralf there and him appointing the right guys, and also basically there will be a system and a philosophy. So you'll buy the right players for the system that Ralf is going to implement and start now. It's going to be scary.
We've got to bring it back to Terry though, because I remember when Conte obviously got appointed at Tottenham.
Yeah,
he said that Tottenham will get top 4.
Yeah, but it's I didn't believe.
No, but he believed
what,
that.
Terry? What, just Terry here or John Terry?
No, Terry obviously believed, and the reason why he obviously believed that is because
Terry,
he thought that Conte, good manager. Terry, what do you think?
No, I do, and look,
change your mind now.
No, like I think I said there's a yes and no. So there's a yes and no there. So firstly, I said if Ollie stays at United or we didn't bring in someone of a good to top class level, United have now done that. So my mind has now changed. United have to be finishing in front of Tottenham because we've got a far superior squad.
I agree.
In terms of that. So my mindset's changed. but I still expect to see a huge improvement from Tottenham with a world-class manager.
Okay.
Yes, there's still holes in Tottenham's squad, but when I see Brighton and when I see Crystal Palace play very good, decisive football in the Premier League with much lesser squads, in my opinion, than Tottenham overall, and with lesser managers. Antonio Conte is regarded in top 5, top 6, top 7 managers in the world. They have to have that pressure put upon them. And I don't like this. Oh, we're Spurs, we're the smallest of the top 6, but you're one of the top 6.
No, I'm not saying that. There's no excuses for me. At the end of the day, Conte's here, and it will take him time. He's only been here 3 weeks, so let's get it right. He's been in like 21, 22 days. So it's going to take time. We've played 3-4 games now. Yeah, 2 Prem games, 2 Europa Conference League games. And also in between that, we've had the international break. So yeah, we lost today. I know it's bad, but it's going to take time. And then once he implements his system, gets everyone fit and ready, I'm sure we'll be cooking. So yeah.
So what I don't know if you can get this up, but what are the odds on United making the top 4 now?
Oh, I can get this in a minute. I'm just gonna. Don't cut me when I'm picking the laptop up because it looks bad because I'm professional. I'm gonna bend down and get it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
I've got to have my hat on. I have to have my hat on when I do it as well. Otherwise, now I've knocked my mic and my mic might fall. It's all that you want to like get it right. What's this? The mic's gonna fling back and break my laptop, and it's all gonna be. I can get them. I'm gonna get them up in a second. I'll get them up right now. What, Man United making the top 4. I'm going to go and have a little look now, and I will share it on the screen.
In the top 4 as well.
Okay,
I want to know what the odds on Arsenal making the top 4.
Okay. I'm under so much pressure now. By the way, viewers, make sure that like button is being smashed. We're going to go to team specials here. I'm going to go to Man United first of all and find these. There's like loads of these odds that you can get up and put in the screen. So what I'm going to do is press this button, and then I'm going to press. This should work.
See that comment? Spurs will.
There we go. Right. So we put that. These are the Man United
Spurs
specials.
will bottle top 4.
Spurs will bottle top 4.
Put some of them comments up. Put the comments up while I'm searching for this, boys. That'd be great.
Spurs will bottle top 4.
That'll be great. Let's have a little look here.
Spurs will bottle top 4. United will get 4. I wouldn't say top 4 is ours to bottle anyway, to be honest. We weren't expected to finish in the top 4 this season. So no one looked at us as like, top 4 candidates. Yes, we were part of the top 6, big 6, whatever you say, but no one had us in the top 4 running at the beginning of the season. So to say we'll bottle it.
You know what? Yeah, see with Conte, yeah, cool. Like, let's have this discussion, right? Yeah. We know he's already proven in Italian football.
Yeah.
He's comfortable. He knows how to, do bits there.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Cool, we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's put that to the side.
Yeah.
You know what you can do in the Serie A. He's Italian.
Yeah.
He's got experience. Cool. Now, when he's come to the Premier League, he's joined a Chelsea side. Yeah. A Chelsea side. And that group of players he had already won the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Under Mourinho.
Yeah.
415 season, yeah. So that squad that he inherited at Chelsea is 10 times the squad that of Spurs, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's got a way bigger job at Tottenham than he does at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's true.
Way bigger. Do you know what I mean?
He knows
and
that.
I feel like him winning the title in his first season, he done bits. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna take credit away, but the players were there, and it was his idea.
I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. They're all in the same question. They're all wrapped into one. Does Graham Potter go into that Chelsea side that Conte came in and win us the league in the first season?
No.
Does Brendan Rodgers go into that Chelsea side?
No.
And does Nuno, because he was on
No.
So the point is, I feel like we agree that Tottenham definitely by far is the bigger job, but you can't demean or diminish the size of the achievement, especially because
it was a bit. No, his achievement at Chelsea was magnificent. It was a big achievement.
He smacked us 3-0.
Yeah.
Did anyone think we were going to win the league?
That's what I'm saying.
And Conte saw, and he revolutionized that whole wing back, 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it.
What did he play? 3-5-2? Was it the 3-5-2?
3-4-3.
3-4-3. Yeah. That's something. That's what I'm saying. That there for me was. That was a factor.
Yeah.
And I give him big credit for that. Don't get me wrong. But the
yeah.
players were there. The players
of course,
were there
they were there. So that's why I'm not saying he's got to be winning league titles or even to a degree, sort of the major trophies, the FA Cups and whatever. But I expect this squad to win that Europa Conference.
Yeah,
you're the best team in that Europa Conference by far. And look, the defeats you've had in it so far, you've rotated, you've played a lot of squad players. When we're taking the banter out of it, but you should still be doing better. When we look at the odds, I'm going to put the odds up on the screen there again. Actually, I've gone and found them and got that done. So we look here at these odds Of course, with our partners tonight, BetVictor, make sure you get yourself signed up to a BetVictor account. The links are in the description below. You've got to be over the age of 18 and always gamble responsibly. But you'll see, like Man City are 1 to 200 on to make it. Chelsea 66 to 1 to 66. Liverpool 1 to 33. But then it starts getting interesting. United are 11 to 10 on.
Okay.
Arsenal are the fifth favourites at 3 to 1. West Ham 3 to 1. Tottenham 4 to 1. They are the odds as it stands right now. But I mean, look, I'm going to back Man United though. And I'm gonna stick 20 quid now on Man United making it. 20 of my English pounds straight away. 20 pounds on Man United to do it. But I've got to hedge my bets because I put a bet on a few weeks ago that Spurs would do it because I didn't trust my club to sack the manager. So I'm gonna stick £20 now live on the air on Man United now making that top 4 outright. I'm that confident with Ralf coming in. And if it isn't Ralf, it's gonna be Poch. So either way,
when you say it isn't Ralf, it's going to be Poch. I thought Ralf was done.
It is, but let's just say the world changes tomorrow. Locomotive Moscow wake up and say no. Then it's I don't know what my voice was then, but they say no, it ain't happening. Then we might need to go back for Poch and whatever. But I'm going to put that bet on now. United to finish inside that top 4. That has been placed live on the air, ladies and gentlemen. If you fancy the same, you know what to do. Get yourself into the link. Get yourself signed up. If you bet £5, by the way, you get a £30 free bet with BetVictor. I want to look at some of the comments here as well. What we're saying here.
Saying Arsenal.
I mean, it's not a great return because I think it's odds on to happen. So if you don't think Man United and you think, oh, I think West Ham will do it, you're a gooner there, Chrissy boy, one of my members. If you think Arsenal are going to do it, Chris, go on there now and stick a little flutter on them doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be done.
West Ham were 4 to 1, weren't they? Don't you think that's a bit disrespectful considering how good their season was last year and how high they are on the table right now? You don't think that's no?
Because
we know West Ham
with teams like West Ham and Leicester, until you do it once or until you do it at least 2 years consistently, we can't give you the benefit of the doubt.
100%.
For 2 years, has it been 3 years in a row now, or 2 years in a row that we've seen Leicester be so close to get to the top 4 or have it in their hands and bottle it? West Ham, first time where they had it in their hands as well. Because if we be honest, if West Ham won all the games in front of them,
they would have finished top 4.
And the running they had
was favourable.
They had.
But they always fade away like in the last 2 months.
Like
why does it always happen though?
Declan Rice got injured.
Teams that left.
Let me tell you why it happens.
Always fade away.
Let me tell you what happens. They fade away, and it's no disrespect to them, but it's the quality, it's the level, the pressure, high pressure situations. They're not used to that. They're like it now becomes a thing where you have to win. You no longer get the lack of pressure where it's like, oh yeah, you lot could just go out and play your football, play how you want to play. They now have to win games,
and they're expecting,
and they know that they have to win the game.
It's a different pressure. It's a different
100%. And I feel like it's not really the end of the world as well. Via like when it comes to the pressure from the owners, whereas bigger clubs, players knows, yo, if you're not getting top 4, yo, we're pissed.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
On that though, who are you boys saying for top 4 now? Like, are you all convinced it'll be Man United now, 100%?
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced yet.
Mine's been set in stone from day one. I'm not changing because I want to be consistent. From day one, everyone knows, you included. I said Chelsea were going to win from day one. I said I said City would finish second. I said Liverpool would finish third, and I said Man United would finish 4th. Those were my top 4, and I said that, and I stick with that.
Livz, what's yours?
Right now, I wouldn't say United are top 4. Maybe beginning of the season, with the signings you made. At the first, I'll say this season probably Liverpool win the title.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, over Chelsea and
that's not
Liverpool right now. Do you know what it is? Salah just started the season on fire. You know what I mean? And it's Van Dijk's back. They've got Trent's moving nuts. Thiago's back. Like Liverpool, and they've got that experience. You know what I mean? Let's be real. When Liverpool won, no disrespect to Chelsea in it, but when Liverpool won the Champions League, they were actually the best team in the world. You, man, when you won the Champions League, I couldn't say Chelsea are the best team in the world.
Do you not think Chelsea are the best team in the world right now?
Easy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think they're better than Liverpool. I don't think they're better than Liverpool.
How though? Why?
I don't know. As a team,
we drew with them when with 10 men at their stage.
I get it, but
beating the teams they've dropped points to.
Yeah, I get that, but I still don't think you're better than Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool, in terms of they've got, I think that going forward they're better than you. Defensively, I think they're better. Yeah.
And defensively better than Chelsea.
No. They've got better defenders though. They have that.
But this is what I mean.
Okay, cool.
Wait.
We'll go man to man. We'll go man to man.
That's not the point.
We'll go man to man.
No. The reason why you can go man to man. I'm not going man to man. The reason why I'm saying that, and the reason why I've got you now, is because one thing that people need to understand about Chelsea is that, And I broke it down to people on Twitter that were in a meltdown. Obviously, the Chilwell situation could be ACL, could be really peak. Is that Tuchel has built a team where we do not rely on one single individual. And the reason why,
Of course, you rely
teams
on
think
defensively. You do rely on certain players.
who do we rely on?
Rudiger's very
Not
important.
necessarily. We brought in
Rudiger-
Langsar and still kept a clean
But
sheet.
all right, cool. But this current Chelsea form, you even win the Champions League. That whole route, Rudiger was so vital.
No. The point I'm trying to make is that we don't rely on one player. Of course, you need singular players.
right now,
that play every. You can't wait.
Okay, right now, give me your strongest. Give me your strongest.
We don't have the
back line.
strongest.
No, in your opinion, give me your strongest back line.
I can give you my opinion, but the point I'm making is that anyone could come into that back line and still do a good job. One sec. Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, of course, Rudiger is one of the most important defenders to our team. Every team that wants to win the league has to have important players. Do you know what I mean? It's a given. You can't win the league by changing your lineup every single week.
Of course. So
my point
Rudiger gets injured now.
We can still win the league.
So okay, cool. Rudiger. Let's say Rudiger gets injured.
Yeah.
James gets injured. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
two important guys in your defense. In your defense,
come
right?
on, that's common sense. That's like saying if Van Dijk gets injured and
That's
Trent
what I'm
gets
saying.
injured.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm putting when everyone's fit.
Yeah, when everyone's fit, we're top right now, and everyone's been fit with Liverpool, and we're still top.
This season you started off well. That's what I'm saying. But what? How many points you had of Liverpool?
5?
4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
It's still early.
I would say this. Like,
It's still early. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still early.
I don't
But
think
for
it-
me to
I don't think it
celebrate
is.
Liverpool right now.
No, I think you've got
form-wise,
to.
yes.
But the reason why he's not and this is what I'm trying to break down. The reason why people don't want to say Chelsea are better is because Paul Scholes has made people believe that it's about the people on paper.
Well, it's funny you say that because people keep having a go at Scholes. You said we had the worst defense. I kind of got what Scholes was saying.
do.
He was saying
Names-wise.
individually they're not as good, but
it's about a unit.
it's about the unit. It's the
The
unit.
system that Tuchel plays makes you look defensively strong.
You still got to have the players to implement the system.
Yeah, but the players are not bad.
Listen, look.
But
look at-
Tuchel's
look at-
coaching,
look at it like
I
this.
guarantee you, if Tuchel's a coach at Arsenal right now,
Yeah.
if he puts in a system, I guarantee you, if we puts in a system, he'll make us way better.
Stop it.
No, on my life, he will. On my life. He'll make it better. He'll make it defensively better.
Come on.
On my life,
Come on, Livz.
if Tuchel, no, listen what I'm saying. No, hear what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. With the defense we've got right now, he'll slightly improve us. But he will know, okay, cool, I've got to tweak that position there and I've got to tweak that. And then, cool. But he will improve us because of his coaching. You can't deny that.
Hey, well, a comment on the screen I want to get up there from Billy T. Billy T in the house. Let's scroll up there. Just get this comment from Billy T. It made me laugh. There it is there. Tie 2.0. When you see it there.
No, but I'm being honest though. It's true though. Like, Tuchel as a coach can improve a lot of players.
Of course he can.
That's what I'm saying. Because he's a top coach. That's my point. So I'm saying if he was coaching our Arsenal team right now, he will improve us.
What's that mean? What does that mean?
Make us a bit better. Not obviously.
Where would you be in the
maybe
league?
top 4. Maybe. That's me saying
No,
maybe.
it's not that.
That's fair though. That's fair to say.
In a roundabout way, if they're 5th right now and they had a better coach,
Yeah, of course, 100%. You can't deny that. It's not like I'm saying, Tuchel's gonna walk in and we're gonna be title contenders.
Yeah,
No,
but if I boil water, it's gonna be hot. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. My point is, Tuchel being a coach at Chelsea, he's come in and he's coached you, man, to play in a system that fits
But then
best.
why are Liverpool better then?
Liverpool for me, I just when I watch Liverpool play and I watch Chelsea play, I just enjoy watching Liverpool more.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
I do though. Liverpool's football for me. I enjoy watching Liverpool football.
That's fair. I think that's fair from a subjective point of view. But objectively, for the last 11 months, their form has been better than Liverpool. They're European champions, and I would say right now, the hardest league in Europe is the Prem, based on how good so many teams are. And they're top of that. And they're in front of that Liverpool team. They're in front of this Chelsea team. I just don't think you could. Chelsea, for me, right now, are the most balanced team in the world. Nobody right now is better than Chelsea. Bayern Munich are great. Liverpool are great. City are great. But for me, Chelsea just tip top for me.
You know what it is? It's all form right now, isn't it? And I get that.
How long does form go for?
That's what I'm saying. For me, all right, cool. Tuchel come to Chelsea last season, He'd come in, he implemented
January 2020.
implemented his style, won the Champions League. Great, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't say great like that. I don't like the way you
No, it's
said
great. It's great.
Okay,
Like, cool. He done his thing. Cool.
Yeah.
This season is that test. If Chelsea don't win the league,
Yeah, but
or don't even
they're acing the test right now.
Wait, listen.
No.
We,
That's
right now,
double
where we are,
standards
right now.
That is so double.
We're not in Christmas yet, anyways. So things can change just like that.
That's double standards, though.
No, it's not double standards. Because I'm just
So if
listen,
Chelsea don't win the league and we finish second, it means that we failed.
No, I want to say fail, but
What
it'll be
does that mean?
disappointing.
Yeah, but they
It'll
can't
be
fail if they're
disappointing.
not the best team.
Exactly.
Why not?
No, but
Because you
just said
can't.
they're not the best
If you're not
team.
the best team,
No,
if
now I said last season it wasn't the best when they won the Champions League.
No, but are we
I'm
the
not
best
saying right
team
now.
in
Who's the
right
best
now?
team now?
You are the best team on form right now.
No, but you just said
but who
Liverpool
are
the
the best team in the Premier League?
Listen, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Yeah, I get
When
that.
everyone's at their best, Liverpool are the best for me.
So if Liverpool come second this year, then or third, they've failed.
Yeah, they've unachieved. Yeah, 100%.
But if you're not the best and if you're second best and you come second, you ain't failed.
You know what? You haven't, but it depends on how you start your season.
Like if they're 10 points clear and they throw it away,
Yeah.
I get that. That
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, like that. Obviously, if it's neck and neck, like
we will never
it was,
I
if it was neck and neck, like it was United and City,
Yeah.
then
Let me-
cool. That season when City won it, no one could laugh at Man United.
let me tell you now, we will never ever be 10 points clear of the team that's second this season. That will not happen this season. Maximum, I think, maybe 7 points, but it just will not be that.
Okay, so
My point is, it's going to be a tight race this season.
it will 100%. It's
And-
between you. For me, it's between you and Liverpool. Anyways. City, I
No,
feel
Man
like
United
still there.
City are gonna be there, but I feel like City, the way they've dropped a couple of points this season.
Top four, by the way, because we didn't.
Yeah.
kind of
All right,
like-
cool.
yeah.
So yes, I've said Liverpool,
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
City, and fourth spot
You gonna say
could be Arsenal.
Stop it! I knew.
You know what? So far, right now, currently, Arsenal in terms of form, because we've been on a good
I like
run
the
of form.
belief. I like
Terry,
the
you know
belief.
this.
No.
We've been on a good run of form,
Listen,
right?
listen.
Terry, am I allowed to say that due to form right now, I think we can finish top four?
Bruv, this is the football terrace.
like,
There is
say what
no
you want,
echo
like
chambers. You can say what you want.
But
Like so you honestly right now, you
right
think
now, that's right now.
right
But
now-
it could change.
We're
but do
talking about
you
every
think
season.
you
I
think
don't know. Football changes like
Yeah,
that.
no, but what do you
Ralf
think, though?
Rangnick can come in and do a madness.
Yeah, of course.
Play way better football than us. We could,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
what do you think's going to happen though? What do you think's going to happen now?
I think
Do you
your
think you're going to come fourth based on your form? You obviously have a feeling of what Ralf's going to do, what Conte's going to do, whether West Ham are going to
Correct.
maintain this form.
Yeah.
Where do you honestly think
I
Arsenal
don't know
come
about
in?
Spurs personally.
No,
I
so
think
it's not about-
Spurs-
it's not about Spurs.
Yeah,
It's
Spurs,
all-
I think will be a top 6. Yeah, because Conte still need to find out what he can do to improve that team. That's the biggest job so far. Do you get? I don't think Ralf Rangnick's job is going to be as big as Conte.
Okay.
What Conte needs
No,
to
I
do.
like that. I like.
Yeah,
the
I feel like
confidence. So
I feel like
Arsenal-
Conte's got
Arsenal
more
fourth.
work to do than Ralf. Ralf knows he's got the quality there.
Yeah,
He's got the
100%.
quality right there.
100%.
He just needs to, okay, listen, guys, we're going to do this, do that my way. Does that make sense? Conte still has to bring in these type of players that
Yeah.
want to play his type of football. He can't really, there's some guys that might not fit. Like, for example, you got an Oliver Skip or Harry Winks.
Yeah,
He might not fit into what Conte
I
wants to do.
think Skip
Or-
definitely fits. Harry Winks probably not.
Or you're right. What's your right back?
Ndombele might
What's
not.
your new right back?
Emerson Royale.
Emerson
he fits.
Royale.
He fits. He fits.
You're a big fan of him?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be an amazing. There's going to be an amazing title race. It's going to be an amazing top 4 race as well. Viewers, what do you think? Who is going to finish in the top 4? I've already put a bet on tonight with our partners, Bet Victor, that Man United are going to do it. Could it be Arsenal? They were coming in at 3-1. Could it be Spurs at 4-1? Could it be West Ham at 3-1 as well?
Get signings as well.
You can get that done right now. The links are in the description below to do it.
January window.
Lots of
January
comments in there.
transfer
Let's get
window.
some of these comments up there. Let's go back to them super chats.
January transfer window.
Says we will be 54 points and 111 points clear of Liverpool by.
Is he a
Look at
Chelsea
the
fan?
Chelsea
He's a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea
That's what
fan.
I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Chelsea
He's
fans.
gassed there.
No,
He's
but I
gassed
like
there.
that. Wow.
Bro
Chelsea
also
fans are saying
said.
it with
Bro
their
also
chest.
said earlier. Big Rom. Go back. Scroll back up. You'll find. If you scroll back up, you'll find that one
Big
again
Rom.
because it saves
How
them
many
all
goals
now. It says here. Let's do this super
I'll
chat
just
here.
have a-
Let's keep
I'll-
scrolling. Let's find it.
I like
Come on,
it.
where's it gone? There it is. There it is. There it is. Right. I want the viewers to see it. Guys, read this one here. It says Big Rom is going to win the league for Chelsea at the Stretford end.
wow,
He
Stretford
will
end.
score a knee slide as well.
Because we play you second to last.
Second to last game. Go back to if you go to new comments at the bottom, just click that button there. It'll go right down to the bottom there. Scroll up and let's get this other super chat on the screen, please,
Right,
man like
Yeah, the
Javern.
full lineup.
It says can't take
Good.
Arsenal fans seriously. Remember that Partey song.
Oh yeah, the party video.
Partey's the guy though.
Yeah, don't know about
But
that.
he is though. Partey is a top player though. If you don't watch Thomas Partey at Atletico,
Yeah,
you will see.
Atletico.
No,
Keyword,
no,
Atletico.
but the difference between but the difference is the difference, guys. The difference between Partey at Atletico and Partey at Arsenal is Partey had the right midfield around him. At Arsenal, he doesn't have the legs around him.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you this question though. I want to ask you this question though. I want to ask you this question about Arsenal. We're going to go into some previews later, people, but I want to ask about Arsenal's bounce back. And what I mean by that is, I've been saying it on streams all week, but I've got to get off my chest now that I'm in front of human beings and not just sitting in my office at home. In the build up to last week's game against Liverpool, I got 5 or 6 phone-ins to the show. Every Arsenal fan in this studio on Friday Night Terrace. Man like Curran, man like George, a Gal, all of these guys. And I respect them all as people and as Arsenal fans. They all said, and I'm going to kind of put all their comments into one overarching phrase or sentence. It was, this weekend will be the weekend that the world recognizes our turnaround. We will be competitive against Liverpool. We may not win, but we'll do this. You then got beat badly. You got beat.
Didn't I say that they would get cooked? I said they would get beat.
You did.
No one really listened because I'm a Spurs fan.
But that's cool. The narrative has now moved on to one of our callers said, it's the best thing that could have happened to us because now you will all see how good and resilient we are and we'll bounce back straight away. So my question is, do you feel like you're going to bounce back straight to that brilliant form that made you go 10, 11 games unbeaten? Or are you worried now there could be another blip on the horizon with Arteta and Arsenal?
Like now, against these smaller teams, we can now manage to get the 3 points. I feel like last year was struggling. There was times Burnley was coming to the Emirates getting a win. Leicester was coming to the Emirates getting a win. All these teams were beating us, Villa, etc. I think we kind of sorted out this season. The game against Liverpool, all we wanted to see was, okay, we've been on this great run. We're going to Anfield. All this talk before the game, how Arsenal showed character now, we're a different side. Mikel's built in some structure, I want to see that against teams like Liverpool at a big ground like Anfield. Yeah. And I want to see that. I never once said we'll go and win. I said I will be happy to get a draw. Yeah. Happy, more than happy.
But now that you got battered, what's your opinion?
Nothing's changed. Okay.
So
yeah, we got battered. Yeah, we got battered. You know what it was? When I watched that game, we was frightened.
But you know what?
And when I watch Arsenal, and we're going for it, we're buzzing, we're a team full of confidence.
So what's gonna happen against Newcastle?
Newcastle, obviously, I expect to win. Newcastle right now just got a new coach in Eddie Howe. He hasn't really been given time to get games with them,
Well, this will be his first game on the touchline because he was ill last week.
And I feel like this game will come too soon for him, for the likes of Arsenal right now. Yeah. If he does get a result against us, massive result for Newcastle. But I do expect to win.
Are you Arteta in or Arteta out? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, before the Liverpool game, when he was going on that run.
Yeah.
I was still, obviously I wasn't, people were telling me, you're Livz, are you Arteta in or are you Arteta out now? I said, guys, I will not be judging Arteta because of these results. I will be judging Arteta, for example, when it comes to games like Liverpool away.
Okay, so what's your thoughts then? Obviously,
right now, still nothing's changing. Again, we need more quality. January transfer window, I need to see some midfielders. When I watched that game against Liverpool, we was getting pressed the hell out.
Yep.
We need midfielders that have that ball retention. Lokonga just wasn't levels for that game. Yeah, Partey can't do it on his own. He needs at least 2 midfielders around him.
He can't do it on his own
because
Partey's meant to be a world-class DM.
Yes, in the midfield.
Transition the ball.
No, but he's not a DM though. He's a box-to-box midfielder.
So why can't he do that job then? Why are you?
Because you know why? Because when you're playing as a box-to-box midfielder, you need that pattern of play where you're gonna have other midfielders around you that have legs. You know what I mean? Some to cover. When Partey goes, someone needs to cover. Lokonga and Partey. They're not them guys. That's not a partnership that can go to Anfield and get a result. You know what I mean? And I feel like our midfield has to change. Our attack as well. If we can get a striker, just another striker as well, that would be important. I still feel like we still need more signings if we're going to compete with the likes of Liverpool, City, Chelsea.
Yeah,
we're far away. The quality is not there
yet.
You
definitely do. You definitely do. I do think.
We're frightened as well.
I do get that, and I think. Listen, I've said this about Arteta for years. everybody spoke about him being like the second coming of Pep. And I get that there's always overhype and excitement amongst fans. He's more Simeone than he is Pep. He's a pragmatist at heart for me.
100%.
He's a pragmatist, and you need the players. You need a certain type of players to make that work.
I saw that in the FA Cup semi-final against City and the final.
And then,
I saw that.
But and it worked in those games. It's about him. And I sometimes feel like he tries to fluctuate between being what he is and trying to be an Arsenal manager in the Wenger mold and trying to play pretty football. When he plays the football that he understands and likes and can teach to his teams, you're definitely better. And I look at it is going to be an important weekend, this, because for all the hype that built up in an unbeaten run, a negative result in this game, and I feel like what always happens in life when you start to trust someone again after a lot of you turned against him, the drop the second time round is even bigger. It's like, you know what I mean? It's even bigger now. It's like the roller coaster. You get the first big dipper, and then it's the second one's the killer ones. You know what I mean? That's what could happen here for Arteta if he isn't careful. And you should be. No disrespect to Newcastle, even with Eddie Howe. You've got better players. I'm not too sure if you've got a better manager. I used to really rate Eddie Howe was Graham Potter 3 years ago. Like, everybody wanted him, everyone rated. Yeah, so I think he's very. But where they are in the league, the quality of their squad versus yours, you should be beating them. I actually took a look here at some of the odds for this game. Of course, we've bet Victor here. You can see him up on the screen now as well. I'm looking at correct scores. What would you boys predict as the correct score for this game?
3-1 to Arsenal.
And by the way, I do owe you dinner, by the way, Patrick. I do. We'll talk about it later. I owe you dinner. Not in a, you know what I mean? I know you obviously got a girlfriend now. I'm talking about as friends. I'm taking you out for dinner because you got the bet right last week and won me 85 smackaroonies.
I'll say 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Who's home?
Arsenal.
You know, I might change my bet to 3-0. I don't see Newcastle scoring, to be honest.
I think it'll be 1-1.
Oh, Danny boy.
So what was it? Something like Chelsea and Burnley?
It's not even that. It's more the case of, like, if you guys win, cool. Do you know what I mean? But I see it in a way where, like, the real test is this game. And it's funny. No. Like,
For
you
who?
say,
For us?
you say test as in, it's not a test about how good you are as a team. You are better than Newcastle.
No, we will back. No, I got confidence that we will bounce back.
No, and
beat these.
No. But that's
for me. That's not the problem.
No. But that's why
this is what they do.
That's why I said. That's why I said if you beat Newcastle, you beat Newcastle. Yeah. No one's going to talk about it. But the really and truly is how you respond as a team to a battering. Really, how do you respond regardless of who you're facing?
With the way the camp is right now and the morale. I don't think there's an issue with the team bouncing back. I feel like players, they love these games to play against. You know what I mean? They get excited because they know, you know what, we're better than them. They mentally believe, they know that they're better.
You are. And Newcastle have been woeful this year. Have they won a game yet? I swear they ain't won a game. I'd have to go and check that, but I don't think they won a game yet. If they have won a game, it's one game. Like, they can't have won many. You have to do it.
Right now, I feel like with the fans, they're not really like, cool, we've lost 4-0, but I'm seeing a lot of fans be like, oh, but guys, it's Liverpool. But like, what did you expect?
No, but that's my point, though.
But that's the mentality that kind of, as a fans, it's like, that's not the right mentality to have, personally. And I feel like Arteta, he probably will see that and be like, you know what, guys, the fans are not really on us. And the players can feel it as well. Because let's be real, the players weren't getting abused.
A lot of people
they weren't getting abused after that game.
A lot of people
was posting on the gram.
A lot of people in the comments are saying Newcastle are gonna win. I'm seeing the comments.
Trolling, man.
Yeah, it's
But let's be real. Oba posted.
Yeah.
Gabriel posted after a 4-0 defeat. These are players that last year, after a loss, they were nowhere to be seen on social media.
That's funny about it. Man United fans hate it when we post after a loss. Like, it's funny how things change. Well, looking at the odds here, boys, we're going to get this locked in before we move on to the City West Ham preview. I'm gonna pick. Livz, I'm gonna go with yours. First time on the live show tonight. You said 2-0. That's at 8-1. Is that 2-0? So I'm gonna stick a £5 stake in that. That will give me a £45 return there with our partners at Bet Victor.
Returns, man.
I'm gonna lock that in now. That's done. That's in. That's 2-0 to Arsenal has been the bet. Viewers, what are your score predictions? Chris George there says 3-0. He thinks it's gonna be 3-0 to the Gooners. I want to know what you will get your comments in now in relation to what you think the score is going to be in this game. People, get that done. And then coming up next, what we have for you is the preview. We're going to be previewing for you the game between Manchester City and West Ham. Is there a possibility of a shock on the hands. West Ham have already beaten Liverpool so far this season. Hit that like button. By the way, if we hit 1,000 likes, I'll give you another clue for the Football Terrace secret phrase. Remember, you can win a PlayStation 5, a limited edition Boohoo Man hoodie, £100 cash, and a pair of Cristiano Ronaldo's football boots. All you've got to do is super chat in and guess the secret Football Terrace phrase. If you hit 1,000 likes tonight, we're not far away from it, I'll give you another clue. Let's do this. Well, right, there we go. Man City, they're at home against West Ham. West Ham have caused a few shocks this year. They have lost their most recent game. I'm going to go Patrick first on this. How do you see this game panning out, mate?
Man City, they're just too good, man. Like, you saw them against PSG yesterday, and even though they only won 2-1, they're ruthless in that final third. They just create so many chances. They overload in the box, the false nine. You just don't know who to pick up. I see a comfortable Man City win, man. West Ham have been decent, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be able to live with the quality of Man City. Fullbacks, Cancelo is a joke right now. I mean, we're so blessed at the moment in the English league. We've got Cancelo, Trent, and Reece James.
Literally as well.
Literally, huh?
AWB, bro. AWB. How you say AWB's in that mix?
Emerson Royale as well. Don't forget Emerson Royale coming in as well.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, all jokes aside, we're so blessed. We've got the three best fullbacks in the world. And we see them week in.
As well.
And we see them week in and week out. And literally every other game, someone's showing them why they should be there. Reece James's control and finish 2 days ago was immense. Cancelo's outside of the boot, through ball pass over the whole of the defense to Sterling. I don't even know how he saw the run, and to pick him out, and then, yeah, it's crazy. So I just think Man City have got too much quality for West Ham, and they win quite comfortably.
Yeah, man, I have to agree. I think Man City are finding their mojo back. They always go through that period in the season where you're like, oh yeah, Man City, they didn't buy a striker, they didn't do this, they didn't get that. But then there comes a time, like this is the test for a team like Chelsea now, where I say that when you know a team like Man City will continue to win, can you continue to win as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've done well to give ourselves a good start. Are we now good enough to maintain that and keep winning at the rate that we're winning? Because Man City will go on like a 10-game winning streak, you just have to hold your own, win your game.
I don't know this year though. I don't know. I mean, they did so well against PSG, but that is one of the most disjointed football teams I've seen in my life. My view, they're a team of 8 and a team of 3, and I think Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi are all tremendous players. I don't think any team can accommodate all 3 with their. People will always show you a little clip here and there of one of them tracking back, but it's like on the regs, how much they doing that. Half the time I see them track back as if, well, not Messi, he never does it, but the other 2, if they lose the ball, there's like an ego thing to try and win it back. But are they doing it? Are they doing what Salah does? Are they doing what Mane does? Are they doing what you see the Chelsea front men doing? They're not. And I'm not saying taking nothing away from City. It was a very good comeback against a good team, but PSG just looked awful as far as I'm concerned. My issue would be as a City fan is that in 33% of their games so far this season, they've failed to score. And that's not good enough. And if that turns around, if Sterling starts scoring again, as an example, or if they get a midfielder that goes on a crazy run like Silky Ilky did last year, then they've got a chance. But they need to buy in January for me. The problem they may face is by the time they get into Jan and maybe land Harry Kane from Tottenham, or they go after someone else, I think you guys could be 5, 6, 7 points in front of them. And Chelsea are too good to throw that away, in my view. I don't think they've got it in their locker this year. So far, there's no evidence this season that they can turn it around and win those games because they don't have a prolific goal scorer. The only way they do is if, as I've said, Raheem Sterling turns it back on and starts scoring as he was doing in previous campaigns, maybe. But they just don't have the goals for me.
I think maybe this is where I'll say maybe I disagree. And maybe it's me being a bit nervous, being a bit cautious, being a Chelsea fan. Obviously, we're in pole position now. But again, I mean, one thing that Livz said that I do agree with is it's still November. There's still a long way to go. The key for me is if Man City are 3 points behind Chelsea by the time we go to the Club World Cup, I'll be nervous. We need to have this 5, 6, 7 point gap over Man City.
100%.
so that when we leave and we come back, we've got a nice game. We've got a nice couple of games in hand. You know where you've got games in hand where even if you lose one game, it's fine.
Yeah.
You've got a one game kind of little
insurance policy, little insurance policy. Yeah.
We cannot have one game as our insurance policy for me over Man City. That's how good Man City are. And I understand the goals thing. But for me, I just think that this Man City team has an edge that as well as Tuchel has done, you still need longer to build an edge. Just something different about your team where you don't know where the goal could come from. Sometimes their biggest negative is their biggest positive. The fact that you don't know where the goal's going to come from. The fact that they don't have
that's what I would say to you guys. This year, you guys
yeah.
scoring,
That's
Reece James, Chilwell, obviously, bless him, he's probably out for the season. But you guys are getting goals from everywhere apart from your front three or your strikers.
Well, Lukaku, basically.
Lukaku's been injured or two.
Yeah.
I feel like Kai Havertz was given that role, right, to be like your main man.
Yeah, he's not really.
And I don't know if he's
one thing I've shown to fans though is that we've now seen three players play in the 9, Lukaku, Havertz, and Pulisic, and it's no coincidence that they're 3 players that haven't received the headlines that they should have received. That they're almost, because of everything else that's happening, we don't play a traditional get the ball to your striker and finish it now.
That's what happens though with every team. We were talking about Mo Salah a few weeks ago. We've had these debates on the terrace in recent times of who's got the greatest legacies. The best Man United teams that I saw, there was always 1 or 2 players that the media picked as the stars or the poster boys, and then you have these other players that just don't get spoken about. Now Bernardo Silva's going through that at Man City right now. Suddenly everyone's like, oh, he's a really good player. I'm like, he's always been that player, but the problem was he wasn't the star. It was KDB, it was Raheem Sterling, it was Aguero. He wasn't being Fernandinho was getting praise, Company and whoever else. He wasn't getting the praise because there was 5, 6 other people in terms of the media focus that were above him, but he was still, and then every now and Chelsea are getting it now. There's certain players in your team that are unsung heroes, or they're not being spoken about in that way. I just look at City right now, and I don't think enough of their players are performing. Jack Grealish hasn't yet lived up to the £100 million tag. KDB strangely just looks
average.
If you were an alien, you came down from space, and you'd only seen him play this season, and you said he was arguably Ballon d'Or, like one of the best in the world over the last 2 or 3 years, you'd laugh and go, shut up. He literally looks no better than Odegaard at the moment. Like that's how bad he looks. Like, I'm not saying he's trash.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about his standards to what I'm seeing from him. He doesn't look anywhere near. And I just don't see it clicking back in the gear.
See with Grealish, you have to give him some time, man. He's a top player. Grealish is a baller. Everyone knows this, yeah? He's got years to come at Manchester City, and I still feel like he knows he's not the main man yet. He knows there's still guys like KDB, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, guys that have been at the club, not Sterling, guys that have been at the club longer than him that City can count on to get them goals, match winners. Does that make sense?
I agree.
And I feel like it's not his time yet, but he knows, cool, I've got a big contract, I'm going to be here. A lot of these players are coming into that time, where they'll probably move on soon.
No, I hear you.
He will come in, but right now he's learning around these players. These are the years, I think he's learning from these players. So when the time comes, he's gonna he's gonna be ready. He's gonna blossom.
Bro, I hear you on Grealish. I'm not calling Grealish a flop. He's on a 5-year. I swear it's 5 years, 1 year extension. He is going to come good. I'm just talking in the contemporary sense of this season. By the time he comes good, I think Chelsea will be too far in front of City to catch them. But look, I've been wrong about predictions before. I've been right about predictions. But we'll kind of see what happens. In terms of this game, though, I'm looking at the odds there up on the screen.
The big game.
I'm going to go for, me personally, I'm going for draw.
Really?
I got a little feeling that I've got a little, if West Ham are not stupid. So West Ham have just got to ensure they don't get ahead of themselves and leave any stupid holes. Be resolute for the first 50, 60 minutes. Try and counter-attack against them. Set pieces are the best in the country as far as I'm concerned. They really do have a chance. There's some super chats here I want to get up. I don't want to miss them, sorry. This says, Tottenham can make any coach look like Ollie.
Stop
Lengen Sweet here, one of our Man City viewers, says KDB got surgery on his knee, still suffering from it. Yeah, and look, there'll be reasons that he looks bad or looks out of form. I'm just saying, like, that's one of the reasons why. If he was purring and creating, then I'd feel different. But yeah, I'm going with a draw in this game. I legitimately feel like West Ham can get a result here.
Yeah, I feel like West Ham can get a result because, West Ham this season, they're very well structured.
West Ham are not getting a result
They can,
at the Etihad
You
against
never,
Man City. No, man, stop it.
If Crystal Palace have
Doesn't
got a
matter.
result,
Game by game.
why not?
You look at how
but
what
you
is it,
can't-
Man
you can't-
City dispatched PSG.
I get that.
And they created so
I
many
get
chances.
that. But
and
can you
all their
say,
players are
can
in form,
you
man.
say, as a team,
Yeah.
PSG are as well structured as West Ham?
What?
No.
Can you say that?
No, that's not. No, you can't say that.
No, but can you say that?
No,
Can you say that? Are they as well structured as West Ham?
No, the reason why that's silly
In terms of
no, the reason why that's silly is because I could then say West Brom in the Championship or Fulham are as well better structured.
Yeah, but you're missing my
than
point. My
PSG.
point is Man City went up against a PSG team that
That played into their hands.
Yeah, it played into hands.
That's better than saying
Yeah.
comparing the structure.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is though that
No, West Ham are, to be honest. I agree with you.
No,
West Ham
that's
are
what I'm saying.
have a better structure than
West Ham
PSG.
are gonna
Yeah,
go
they
into
do.
this
No,
game knowing what they're gonna do.
I get that
They're gonna be way more organized.
I get that they played into Man City's hands. PSG played into Man City's hands. However,
This will be a harder game for me.
one thing, of course, yeah, probably. But what you need to understand though
City.
is that City are City.
Of
They
course,
know-
look, I'm not taking away. Look,
City
if Man City win, I'm not gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, please don't rule out West Ham.
No, we're not.
That's it.
No,
I am.
Just
I am.
don't. Just no.
I
I
am.
think it'll be. I think it'll
I
be
am.
foolish to say West Ham can't get a result.
Of
It'll be
course, no,
foolish.
that no one will say that in any
football
given
is
match.
football.
But you just said
Yeah,
right now, I
yeah.
don't see West Ham getting a
I
He's
result.
don't.
got,
I
you
don't.
there, Patty. He's
don't.
got you there, Patty. He's got you there, Patty boy.
In football, anything can happen. We
That's
know,
what I'm saying. But
I
West
do not
Ham,
see-
with the team they have and the way they've been going this season, especially with the way City have dropped points this season, West Ham can get a result. But at the same time,
no disrespect.
Okay,
Liv.
no, hold on,
City-
hold on.
at the same time-
Arsenal
I'm
going
with
into the
you.
Anfield game.
Yeah.
Everyone said the same thing. Or Arsenal been
I'm with
playing
you,
well.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What's happening? Tell me what your scoreline is.
what? With what?
West Ham City.
You know what? That's what I'm saying. That you lot didn't
Hurry
let me
up!
finish.
Hurry up!
No, you know why? Because you lot didn't let me finish. You lot didn't let me finish. You lot didn't let me finish. I was going to talk about Manchester City's performance against PSG. Yeah? And I was going to say,
You can do that. I just want to know.
we get to that. I have to build up. I have to cook it. How do you want me to serve you the meat if I haven't got the vegetables? Let me roast the meat. Anyways, so cool. I feel like that performance against PSG, yeah, that was a confident Man City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're getting that groove back. Yeah?
Yeah.
If Manchester City play like that against West Ham are going to find it very hard.
Yeah.
And them
that's
being at home-
That's what we've been saying.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
if they play like that. That's why hence I said they could go either way. If Man City get a result, they
Yeah,
can.
but what
Fair
you're
play.
saying though?
Nah,
what
but
you're saying-
what's
But
your...
if it's my prediction, I'll probably go over what 2-1 Man City.
There you go. So after all of that,
But look,
Sorry,
it's not like I said.
Get better Chelsea reps.
Bro, man. Come
Man,
on.
don't make it job,
Did
you know,
that
come
hard
on.
day.
Nah,
Did
nah,
him
that
hard.
is-
Sorry, I
come on.
interjected. Sorry.
Even though he's looking a bit like Malan Saw, he done it. Nah, but you know what it is? I'll give a 2-1 victory for
There you
Manchester.
go. So after all of that, you pretty much agreed with us.
No.
Literally.
You're right. No.
Stop.
I never agreed. No, I didn't even
Oh.
agree. I didn't disagree. All I disagreed with you on is don't say West Ham can't get a result. That's it. I didn't say West Ham are gonna
For
win,
me, I'm still going with a draw.
Draw,
I'm going with a draw. I
and
think
I get that.
I agree with you, Livz. I'm going to quote Livz then I can. Livz just said that West Ham are better than PSG.
Oh,
They didn't really. Clip it.
It's way out of context.
No,
Like,
I-
see how
out
they
of
clip
context-
that
out
and, yeah.
Out of context, Livz. No, for me, right?
Start a new
For
page
me,
and all
when
that.
I look at it,
I love that.
Man City, if they play this game 20 times on the bounce, Man City win 18 of them.
Mm.
One draw and then maybe one win by West Ham. I think this is the weekend where West Ham, especially if they get past 30, 40 minutes without conceding, they can do it. And I'm going for. And viewers, so look at it. Stink Moner there says football terrace is deluded. Well, no. I mean, if I would have sat here and said, like last week, nobody said Watford could beat Man United. Week before that, nobody said that
True.
Palace could beat
sat here
Man
and said
City.
Watford.
This is
I
just
know.
this is my coupon buster for the week. I'm going with a 2-2.
No, that's fair enough. And
85th minute, Antonio equalizer from a corner.
And
There you go.
do you know what the thing is?
Mikel Antonio,
I'll make it better for you. It won't even be from a corner. It'll be, you know, City. Yeah, every time they can see the goal, the situation is always like a 4v3. Like you just see teams counter-attack City in such a silly way where it's like Ruben Diaz and Stones, they all look leggy, and Walker does. You know, no one spoke about what Walker did against Crystal Palace, where it was even 3v3. And then Walker brain dead just runs all the way to help his guy.
He's got that in him, He's got that in him.
Walker for me, you know what's funny? I love how, like, I think Cole Walker is a top class player. When people say, is he world class?
No.
He has too many weird moments where it's like, what are you doing, bruv? It's just, you know, just weird moments. That's all I can put it down to. There's too many weird moments.
5 right backs that are better overall, that are better than Kyle Walker.
Oh, come on, that's quite easy.
Go on, name it.
Not 5.
Cancelo,
4.
Reece James, Trent, Hakimi. And
I'd put Kimmich. If Kimmich doesn't play right back anymore, but I'd still put Kimmich.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be, but do you know what it is? I was listening to a space the other day. Was having
Trippier? Sorry, would you put Trippier above?
I don't know.
I think they're about the same, right? I think they're about the same. I still think you can be top 5 and not be world class.
Yeah,
like for me, world class isn't about if you can be the best right back in the world and not be world class. Always, because it's about the level you are. And
you can be the best right back in the world but not be world class.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Because I think being world class is about individual consistency. By the way, you could be the 20th best player in a certain position and still be world class. If there's so many players in a particular position in the world that are like producing at your level, you could all be world class. But
when we say world class, come down to being the best in the world.
That's being best in the world. My vision of world class has always been how consistently you're performing at 9s and 10s out of 100 level performances. Does that make sense? Like 10s and 11s. Like, so someone who's, if you look at, for instance, Mo Salah, since he's been at Liverpool, how many poor games has he had? Out of the, I don't even know how many games he's played. I'm going to hazard a guess, say he's played 200 games. I actually don't know. If he's played 200 games, I would say no more than 8 to 10 of them he's been awful in, if that many. Even when he's average, he's still pretty good. That's world-class quality. It's like when you're just nearly always a top performer. That's what I kind of call world-class. When you think about what Reece James is moving into, when you think about how good Trent has been for a young player in the past 4 years, it's 1 or 2 bad games. For me, when I watch Kyle Walker, and some people disagree with me, in every game I seem to watch him in, there's a moment where he makes stupid mistakes. How he gets away with it is his electrifying pace. That normally, if he didn't have that pace, would he be as good? I don't think so.
So Kyle Walker's a man that's been playing first team football for over 10 years now.
Yeah, but he still cleans up his mistakes in the same way.
2011, right?
Sheffield's whatever it was.
But let's talk about the highest level. So let's say the Premier League. Yeah,
he's been at Spurs for a long time.
He became your first team. He became your starter. Your first.
Yeah. After
right back, right?
And he's top class.
11, 12.
Yeah,
he's top class. Yeah. I just think the word world class gets bandied about. I'll give you an example, right? So Bruno Fernandes, his performance levels for the last 4 years, in my opinion, have been world class. Everyone's like laughing that he's on a bad goal scoring run. He's like something like 13 games without a goal. It's his worst run for like 4 years. But still, it's better than it's him. 13 games without a goal is about the average of a lot of attacking midfield players in Europe. So his worst run in 4 years is the average of others in that area. And he's still got more goal contributions than any other attacking midfielder in the world still. So they're going, I ain't got goals. It's like, yeah, but if he gets 2 more assists this year in the Champions League, he's the highest assister in the history of the Champions League for a single season. And again, he's had a bad season. So when I talk about world class, Bruno's a great example. He's world class for me because even when he's having a stinker, he can win you a game and have a moment. Definitely. It's different when you're a defender. I think when you're further at the back, that's about barely making mistakes.
Bruno, don't get me wrong. I rate like the impact he's made at United since he's joined. But I still feel like there's something missing, especially in them big games. Big games.
He can go missing or he can have a bad game. Sometimes he gives the ball away a lot, but he is a top player, man. Like Terry said, he can just do something off a whim.
Yeah. I feel, you know what I think missing for him? A world-class system wrapped around him. So I will agree with that if the system at Man United is great and he's still making those mistakes. To
be fair, what is done under Oli,
and that's the point. He's done that under Oli. Now, some people think with a more constructive system, it will take away from him, and that's just one of those debates where I can't be proven right, and some of the things that can't be proven right until we see it. Exactly. We're moving into a little moment now where we're gonna get to see that. And if Bruno, if we become a better team under Ralf, and Bruno regresses in terms of his goals, assists, and impact, then I hold my hands up and say I was wrong. If he maintains it or gets even better, the smile on my face when I stream is going to be huge.
Don't you think that's even weird though? Because I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but can anyone mention a player who, in a better system, stopped playing?
No,
well?
no.
In a better system that stopped playing well.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the irony in that? When it comes to people like Raheem Sterling and KDB, Trent, who we would all agree that they've been top class to world class in terms of form and ability. Some people disagree when it comes to Sterling. They'll all say, though, yeah, but they're system players. It's only because the systems are brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you have someone like Bruno, and you're like, well, no, he isn't good because he's. And this is where it's all. I know it's all nonsense, by the way.
Well, not everyone, not even every player plays in a system.
But this year,
there's only certain managers that have an actual.
But this season, they say Bruno's gone backwards because he's not the main goal scorer in Ollie's system, and I'm like, but I thought there wasn't a system.
Yeah, exactly.
It's people change their tune to win to put down players they don't want. For me,
as a Manchester United fan, would you say when you watch Bruno Fernandes, he's been given like a free role?
Not necessarily. Again, I think that the word free role is kind of overused. He works harder than most other players in our team. Do I think he's allowed to drift? But you're meant to drift in that role because if he just stays in the middle, he needs to go and help people on the left. When you play as a central attacking midfield player, you have to drift left and right. You can't just stay central. So I don't get it. I don't get it.
And I've been saying this for how many years? I said with number 10s, they all come out wide. I was like, even like when Arsenal fans used to have an issue with Ozil, I'll be like, guys, you lot always say, oh, Ozil needs to play in a 10. Why is he always playing out wide? Even when he's in a 10, he goes out wide.
Yeah, you got.
Even when he's at Madrid, he was going out wide.
If you look at like the heat maps, if you were to take the three best attacking midfielders in the world, and I've done this before when I've been live on the air, you look at their heat maps, their touches, how many chances they create, and cross-reference it against how often they're losing the ball. They're all much of a muchness. So it's like when everyone used to do the whole Bruno loses it on average 23 times a game. KDB's clear. I went and checked. KDB loses it on average 22.5 times per game.
Yeah.
It doesn't make Bruno spams the ball into the box. He averagely crosses it into the box around 4 or 5 times a game. KDB 7 times a game, but yet Bruno spams it in, and none of the criticism when you look at the facts is ever added up. But if you go back to the point we're making about Kyle Walker, I think when you're a goalkeeper or a defender, holding midfield player, it's not about those clutch moments as such. It's about the consistency of not making mistakes and performing. When you're an attacker, it's about being brilliant the vast majority of the time, but it's about even when you're not doing well, you can still be that match winner. And that for me is the differences. You know, someone like Robert Lewandowski, you could pocket him all game. But he's so good. If he gets that half a sniff at the 93rd and a half minute, he's burying it. That's why, for me, he's world class, because you'll very rarely pocket him. But when you do, he can still beat you.
Even when Prime Aguero, even when it was Prime Aguero, when Aguero, like, during his prime at Manchester City, he'll be quiet for like 85, 86 minutes, and 80
then
minutes
bang,
doing a madness.
And bang.
That is world class.
Yeah, 110%. So I'm going to go with 2-2 in this game. Viewers, you've had your predictions in that. You can go now to the BetVictor accounts. The links are below. You can use your app if you would like to, and check out the odds for Man City versus West Ham. There's loads more available than just the results. There's correct scores, goal scorers, etc. To keep this show going, if you want to keep it continuing in this format, we do need, if people do feel like having a responsible little flutter, a responsible little gamble every now and then, of course, always do it responsibly, read T's and C's, and be over the age of 18. Sign up to BetVictor now and claim your free account. If you bet £5, our partners over there will give you a £30 free bet on top. If you're someone that's already using it, and I know a lot of you do, so thank you, always check out the loyalty page on their website or in their app, because there's lots of free offers that you can utilize as well. So go and check that out now. We're going to play a little sting here, and we're going to change it over, because coming up next on the show, we're previewing Chelsea versus Manchester United. Smash that like button. Subscribe to The Terrace. Let's go. Chelsea, Man United. What an interesting game this is going to be. Chelsea riding high at the top of the Premier League. They've just given Juve their biggest ever defeat. Their biggest ever defeat in Champions League history. Wow. And they go up against the Man United team, for all and purposes, in the mud. But with maybe the bounce of a new manager on his way in, Ollie out the door, could there be a shock on the cards this Sunday in the 4:30 kickoff? We're here to preview it. I want to know what you think and what you feel. But first, I've got to go to the Chelsea fan in the house. Danny's here. What's your take, mate?
Look, at the end of the day, you can't take any game for granted. And every game against the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, even the Arsenals, Tottenhams, all the big six. Every game is an important game. You have to go into it positively, starting very, very fast, starting as you mean to go. I think Manchester United obviously will get a big boost by the fact that new manager, people want to impress. The players that do play want to play well. I mean, there's a lot of United fans who will say they saw something in the Villarreal game. I mean, Sancho, good finish. Fred looked good as well. So yeah, like Manchester United do have positives and things to work on, but I just think it's hard for me not to see a Chelsea victory. At Stamford Bridge, we've only lost one game this season to Man City. I don't think Man United are capable of doing what Man City did to us. And even then, in what Man City did to us, they were only able to score one goal. So what you're basically saying is, based off of the evidence that we have this season, as long as Anthony Taylor doesn't pull out any tricks from the hat, United basically have to beat us by scoring and not allowing us to score. That's the only way Man United can beat us, if we do not score a goal. And can Man United keep a clean sheet?
United can't win 2-1.
I don't think so. I don't believe so, in my opinion. I feel like
you know what? I don't know.
The evidence is there. Just because of how we play, we rarely concede 2 goals in a game for one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And even if we do concede 2 goals in a game, it means that we're scoring more than what we've conceded. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm just so confident in the system that's been created. One thing that people have taken for granted, and I think it needs to get hammered home. You know, when Mourinho used to make quotes back in the day, and other managers used to make quotes back in the day, and they used to be things that people remember. I think we will remember forever Tuchel. First press conference, he said, "I'm going to build a team that no one wants to play against." I think he's done that in the short space of time. Who honestly wants to play Chelsea in all of their resoluteness? I mean, Trevor Chalobah is looking like an experienced 10-year vet. Christensen, someone that people wanted out, done. Rudiger, I would argue, has been the best centre-back in the world for 11 months. Loftus-Cheek is looking incredible. Cho's looking good now, getting the production. Definitely. I mean, Hakim Ziyech, some people wanted sold a couple of weeks ago, has started the last 4 games and has got 3 assists and 1 goal. Good on Pulisic again against Leicester. Reece James is looking unstoppable. What's changing? Or what do you mean?
Like in terms of like these players like Cho, Ziyech, now they actually
Loftus-Cheek. It's what everyone has said. A manager has come in. Look at what if you man, obviously not everyone's gonna care and not everyone's gonna see it unless you're a Chelsea fan. But Ross Barkley did an exclusive interview today, and he took a couple of jabs. I don't know who exactly, but he took a couple of jabs, and he said that the difference between Tuchel and every other manager that I've been coached by is that he actually watches training and rewards players for what they do in training, how hard they work.
Take into the team, basically.
Do you know what I mean? Barkley literally listed out the games where he believed he had an impact in them, and he said that Tuchel has given me the confidence to have impact in games because he trusts me, and it's the trust that he has in all of these players. I mean, Kante also got injured in that game, but no one's bothered. Everyone was so focused on the Chilwell one, of course, ACL, but Kante also got injured. One of our most important players, and we're not bothered because we know the guys who will come in will do the job. That's why I just can't see how we lose this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got Alonso coming in for Chilwell, which you believe that Alonso he's got the quality and the experience to come out.
Yeah, left wing back. He can fill in.
What about Kante? Who come in for Kante? Would you say?
Loftus-Cheek.
Okay, you put so Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek will play with Jorginho.
Okay.
What about Kovacic?
He's still injured.
Oh, is he injured?
He's still injured.
Okay,
See, you didn't even know.
I actually didn't know Kovacic was injured.
The confidence seeping through Chelsea right now is ridiculous. And look, I'm one of these people where when a team is legitimately brilliant, I can't even deal with banter. I'm just like, let's just say they're brilliant. It makes you feel better. There's no stress there.
Yeah.
Look, Man United today, there's always in football, there's always a puncher's chance of winning a game. There's the Ralf news that's come, by Sunday, I think things will be more ironed out. We're going to know what's going on with more detail. I think that will give these Man United players a boost in a way. It's like, we've got to start playing now. The new manager coming in. You are right. I think Jadon Sancho, in the last couple of games he's played, there's been moments in the games where he's been beating people, putting good crosses in, scoring his goal. He's going to have that confidence. You've always got Ronaldo if he gets given chances, as an example. But I don't see our team yet being ready to break down your defense, which most teams can't do. The only team I've really seen, barring that weird West Brom game, The only team in the last year that's really broken you down regularly was Man City, and that was a few weeks ago. We don't play football anywhere near City's level, so I just can't foresee it. The only reason I'm not scared about this game is because I know kind of after it, we've got someone new coming in, and it's kind of like the season can start from that point with somebody new.
Against Arsenal.
It's that legit, but well, with the new, it is a bit, it is a little bit
boys, I
Arsenal.
feel like we played them at a wrong time, man.
Yeah.
No, but
Innit, man?
it's
They-
true.
they hit us up
It's
so
true.
early, man.
It's true. I mean,
Come on, you had Mari, like that. If you look at that lineup, and then you look at our team today, bro.
no, I hear you on that.
crazy.
I do hear you on that, but it is still same squad, same manager. With us, it's like we're going from one manager to the other, and this is why I was so desperate for us to make these changes 4 or 5 weeks ago, because by now you may go into these games feeling more confident and more. Do you know what? You know, if you see those first 2 or 3 games, because Chelsea kind of got into this mold almost straight away with Tuchel. They weren't scoring the goals or creating the right amount of chances, but the resoluteness at the back was there, and that's what I'm hoping Rangnick brings in, is that we're hard to break down, we're hard to beat, we're more resolute, we're more controlled.
Point. What is Rangnick's style of football? Because we all know he's a great DOF. We all know he's like in terms of, but what is he actually gonna bring to your team?
Do you know what? Like, I'm gonna go Daniel on this. I've read a bit about him, and one of the quotes I heard today was, "It's like counter-attack football on steroids."
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's resolute, it's strong, it's solid, hard to break down. But now he essentially invented the gegenpress is the word for it. But he was doing it in. I read today he was doing it in the 90s, and I take nothing away from Jurgen Klopp. But again, you know, like I'm not a football historian. Sometimes I wish I had the capacity and proclivity to read more about the game, because when you find out that Ralf's been doing this like before Klopp was ever a manager, but yet people credit it to it's Klopp's tactic. It's like, oh wow, it's like Klopp hasn't stolen it. Klopp's never made that claim. Klopp didn't write a book and say I invented this. But yeah, that's what he does. And what's going to be interesting about Man United is that we kind of played our best football under Ollie when we countered. We've got a team full of players that are brilliant on the counter. If we can become resolute in our shape and press and turn over that ball in the right way, we could become in the very short term under Ralf, we could become a very dangerous team. It's whether he can get us. It's whether we're fit enough. I don't know if we're fit enough to play like that. So that's what I've read. You obviously know more. You're more of a tactician going football than me, but that's what I've read.
No, but over time, definitely, I think the Man United team can get to that level to play Ralf's football. Rangnick's football is basically about being able to press as a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So one of the, like, if we're gonna put it in layman's terms. If we're putting it in layman's terms, basically, let's say now a player receives the ball with his back facing the goal. What Rangnick wants is 2 guys pressing him at the same time. He believes, obviously, you have a better chance, high risk, high reward, basically, football. You have a better chance of winning the ball back if 2 guys go and press a guy who's got his back facing the ball. So you know how Jorginho likes to turn with his back towards the goal? He wants like 2 guys. I'm not. Before it gets to Lukaku, he doesn't win. He wants to win the ball in the middle of the park. It's not about when it gets to Lukaku. It's about the Jorginhos, the Kantes, the Loftus-Cheeks, the guys who dribble out of high pressing situations.
Those are players though that are trusted.
Of course, but it's literally a battle of wits now. Whose system prevails?
But some players have phenomenal ball retention. Hence why they're
not always going to be able to press.
Of course, but that's why I said now it's high risk, high reward. Maybe the difference between Klopp, Nagelsmann, and all these guys that have taken some of Rangnick's principles is that they've converted some of his principles and added their own and created something that allows it to be a winning product.
And it's also Man United's biggest issue at times is we didn't know when to do the things we were doing. There were times where I've seen AWB, for instance, completely out of position, and some will say that's him. And again, a bit like the Bruno argument that we had earlier of in a better system, will he, without many freedoms, will he regress? Equally, are Harry Maguire and AWB consistently in wrong positions because they're confused by the system and they don't know whether they should be pressing, sitting back, what they should be doing, or is it because they're bad players? I think someone like Ralf is going to expose that or show us that actually it wasn't the players, it was the system. Because yes, it's a bit like Liverpool. Liverpool will press when they have to, but there are times where it isn't right. If you can't make it, there was a moment in the game against Villarreal the other night where Fred pressed for the ball. and he was never going to get there.
Okay.
But because he was pressing, and then the guy just simple knocked it round him, there was this huge hole then behind Fred because he pressed at the wrong time. And that's what Man United need to get right. It's when to press and when to sit back, when to stay compact. We're just so confused. And that's why I'm excited.
Leading to Ronaldo's goal, Fred pressed well there.
And did it well then. But he did it well then because you actually, so it's knowing when to do it. It's like, can you win the ball now? Yes. Can't you? If you got to press and you're looking around and none of your teammates are pressing, please stop because there's a hole behind you.
What people don't understand though is that as much as these players are players who get paid millions of pounds, they still need a conductor. They still need a teacher, someone who's able to put them in. Like, people move as if, like, of course, Frank Lampard, I believe, can still be a good manager going forward. But one of his biggest disadvantages, one of the things that he didn't have in his corner is he also didn't know how to get the players playing the tune he wanted to. He probably had it in his head. And what Ralf Rangnick said in one of the interviews that he done, I think last year, where it was kind of like in front of coaches, journalists and whatnot, he said that the best managers in the world are the ones that have an idea in their head and can put it towards their team, can put it on
and simple in simple terms. But I don't know who said this. It might have been someone like Steve Jobs. Maybe it was Bill Gates. It was one of these tech dudes who basically said, whatever you do as a job or whatever you're explaining, if you can't explain it in basic, simple terms, then you don't understand it enough. And you like, sometimes you get someone who's trying to finesse, like they know what they're talking about in a complex situation. And you go, can you explain it to me in basic terms? And they look at you because when they use the big words, they just hope that nobody understands them. Like, do you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the biggest issues Ollie had. I think Ollie is a very good man-to-man manager. I think he'll make you feel good. I think he'll make you happy. I don't think he'll make you feel like you're a bad person. I don't necessarily think he was the worst tactician in the world in terms of his overall setup. I think they struggled on how to communicate the message so everybody understood it, because my players looked confused when they play football.
I also think the response, managers, how many years have we gone through? We've seen the Arsene Wengers of this world, the Alex Fergusons of this world, Mourinho's of this world, able to respond, counter what someone does. Mourinho would make 3 subs at halftime because he says, this is not right. We need to change this and this. And this. I don't think Ollie was capable.
No, he wasn't, because he just, again, I'm not saying he was a great coach. I'm not saying he was a great man manager. I think he was good at those things. The communications and it's the reading of the, I don't know if you guys drive, but when you've been driving long enough, sometimes you notice something that's going to happen. You notice before it happens. So when you first start driving, you're there, you're looking at one car in front, you're like this. And then when you learn to drive properly, you kind of generally, touching wood, you anticipate and you see it because you're there and you're experienced with it. And Ollie just didn't have that. The embarrassing thing for Ollie compared to a Lampard or a Mikel is he's 12 years into his coaching / managerial career, and he should be. That's why it was mad to give him the job. When you think back, and
he was a better manager than coach.
Well, again, I still think someone like Ollie could do a good job. Maybe as a coach, but maybe upstairs in terms of out the way, in terms of not orchestrating that team. He just isn't quite there. But that's why when we look at Ralf coming in, that you've got to hope that these players look at the game Sunday and go, right, I need to play my backside off because I want to impress that new manager. I want him coming, hopefully Monday morning, he's coming into training, and you want to be the guy. You want, Sancho wants to be like, oh yeah, I got a brace at the weekend, or the defense is saying, look, I know that we've got our best 2 centre backs are out, injured and suspended in Maguire and Varane, but look at Eric Bailly, look at my performance. And there's a handful of players that were really unhappy with life under Ollie because they weren't getting chances. This is a great time for them. However, saying all that, I can't look past this. I'm not trying to play it down and then go, oh my God, I can't. Legitimately, if we even get a point, I would be I'll be over the moon. This weekend for me is all about the result and not the performance, because staying in touching distance of that top 4 race, like the fact that West Ham are playing Man City is huge for me, because I put a draw down. I don't think they're gonna win. I'm worried about Arsenal versus Newcastle, because I do think you'll win this weekend, and that gap's going to grow. So we've got to be in our next. We don't know yet because it hasn't been formally announced. You could see we've got Arsenal and Chelsea in the space of 4 days. Lose both them games, we could be 12 points away from the top 4. That then changes my mind about everything with Ralf. I might then be like, we might be in a bit of trouble now. Although I do think we're going to beat Arsenal in a week's time. I do think we will by then. I do.
See, one thing I've learned to do with Manchester United fans, see me, I used to speak a lot. I used to talk a lot of shit, before. Now I don't say nothing no more. I go, let's wait to get match day. And then when we do win, I talk the maddest. That's what I do. Like, you know what I mean?
But I haven't been confident about playing Arsenal in the Ollie Arteta era because Arteta, I don't know.
Even Emery, though. Even Emery.
No, I mean, Ollie beat him in the FA Cup, and we haven't had a great run against you.
That game, that game was.
Yeah, but we haven't had a great run against you in recent years. But sometimes when it's managers, and you'll all know this more about your own clubs than anybody else. There's certain, it ain't even a club. I'll give you an example. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat Pep more than Pep beat him.
No, man.
And even in as only once or twice they were like outright better than us. Like they might have gone 2 up, we got a goal back, and we were back in it. There was something about Ollie's style that Pep's style of football doesn't like. There's something about the way Arteta plays that Ollie's style doesn't like. So that hopefully being semi-gone by the time we play you with that new manager bounce is what I would put that down to. That's what my confidence
I feel like
will
what
come
Ollie should do with Arteta is he just used to say, what Arteta used to do with Ollie, he should be like, look, guys, here, just give them the ball. Let's see what they'll do with it. And then, especially when it's at Old Trafford, just give Manchester United the ball.
Yeah.
Let them try to break us down, and we punish them. Instead of us trying to break them down, they just get us on the counter. Because everyone knows how great Man United are when it comes to counter-attack football. But that's the problem is with Manchester City, when they played City didn't care about that. City still tried to play their football, whether it was at Old Trafford, whether it was at Etihad. City still tried to play their football. But Manchester United knew that, defended deep, hit them on the counter.
I mean, what it comes down
and they
to,
kept falling for that.
What it comes down to in reference to this game, though, is the reason why I do go for Chelsea win, and I actually believe we'll win 2-0, is because I just think that, like we say, we wanna give anything a fancy name. We just play balanced football, efficient football, I like to call it. It's very, very efficient. It's very, very to the point. We don't waste time. Like the way we dismantled Juve, and I know people will say that Juve are poor and this and that, but it's the manner in which you go about
100%.
beating certain teams. Like we always sometimes downplay some of Liverpool's performances in the Champions League and the way they beat certain teams. We always put caveats to it. No, at the end of the day, we're just better. Do you know what I mean? And like in this situation, again, it's another thing where I even think Man United will put in a good performance, but just because of the fact that we're just better right now, I think it will take us over the line. I'm just looking at it. Of course, when you've got Ronaldo, come on, like you've always got a chance there, and it will be it will be a different test for our back three against Ronaldo. We'll see how they handle
fans
that.
did say that though before they play Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Ronaldo. You never know. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Yeah.
But again, like people say, if you remember, if you look at all the reaction and if you watch the game, which I'm sure everyone did, yes, Liverpool probably still would have won that if they played that game 10 times, but United still had chances to score in that game. So it's not like United can't make chances.
But sometimes with United, it's not just about going forward, it's about defensive.
No, I know.
How
And
they get broken
that's
down.
why I'm saying they will lose.
I feel like this game will be a bit too much for United right now. You know what I mean? I still feel like Chelsea are too strong for them. Chelsea right now form in their life. Right?
Chelsea right now
They're on fire.
It's not
Chelsea
form.
right now are too strong.
I don't know why you're saying this form.
Yeah.
11 months
cool.
isn't form.
All right, cool.
It's the thing is, it's like
You see what I'm saying? When the champions of Europe, you see what I'm saying?
No, but you could. I just think form. To say form is what you lot were on 10-game unbeaten run. In the space of 1 or 2 months, that's form.
Yeah, 2 months.
Yes.
11 months is not form.
Yes, but you know what it is? It's not like your Premier League champions, though. You get?
Yeah, because the manager came in January.
That's what I'm saying. If it's Champions League, give you all the credit. You lot are bloody the champions right now.
You
lot are defending your title. It's
think,
only right you're smashing Juve 4-0. You know what I mean?
even think. Yeah.
I saw that result. I was shocked. I said,
No. I even think 6 months for Tuchel to win the Champions League, you can't even call that form, in my opinion. Form. If you were going to say Tuchel won the Champions League based off of form, the evidence for you for that to be true is that in the Premier League we're struggling to keep up with we're basically competing in the top 4 race. That's what.
If you look at Champions League, your campaign last year when it came to the knockout phases.
Oh, this again.
No, I'm saying look. I'm just saying. If you look at the knockout phases, if you look at the
Porto, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Man City. Who else did you want us to play?
Hold on. I get that, but I'm just saying. If you look at them teams, could you say them teams at that time, other than Man City in the final?
When we beat Atletico Madrid, they were top of La Liga and they ended up winning La Liga.
Yeah. But would you say that's the
Atletico Madrid were a better team than us when we played them?
Okay,
yeah, Atletico was serious and they were so hard to break down defensively.
Yes,
and we beat them 3-0 on aggregate.
Would you say that's the Atletico that knocked out Liverpool?
Wait, what?
Different team. Would you say that's the Atletico side that knocked Liverpool out?
What do you mean? As in what?
You're saying that side is better?
In terms of that season.
How? When that team...
That Atletico season is better.
But true.
Way
That's
better
cool.
than the
But
Atletico
what I was saying
season.
about that is your invincible team didn't beat the Man United treble winning team, so therefore it doesn't matter.
Ah.
It's the same thing.
That's one. Come on, that's like one. Was it one season?
Oh, so it only matters if it's one season.
No, but obviously it's still the same group of players. You get me? Obviously, Partey.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
I think Chelsea.
I'm just saying that Atletico team. I can't say that was a team that were exciting. Or,
No, but
or
they're
they
not
were a
Livz,
top
man.
team.
Come on.
I can't. No, I feel like
an exciting team. You're not gonna
No,
sit
okay,
and
sorry,
watch
not an
them
exciting
play. I think
team,
they're
no.
scintillating.
No.
They won the league last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And I give them credit, but I feel like in them legs, I don't think they turn up against Chelsea, bro. I'll be honest with you.
This is
the
longest manager
bounce in history. Yeah. Hang on, I put it up. Sorry, I put it up as well. Sorry, bro. Yeah, it says longest manager bounce in history, and that's why for me. That's for me why I back it. That's why I back it. But in terms of the game tonight, boys, in terms of the games, I've got the odds. That's the wrong one. I've got the odds up on the screen here.
Yeah.
One sec, boys. Sorry, just while we go through this. We've got the odds up on the screen. What's the score prediction here, gentlemen? What are you going with?
2-0, man. We're doing clean sheets for fun.
2-0.
Something we didn't mention is that Tuchel was the first
2-0.
Basically, first manager since he's come to England, 50 games, 31 clean sheets, I believe it is, 24 goals conceded.
No, it's 35 clean sheets.
35 clean sheets.
35 clean sheets out of your first 50. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. 35.
Yeah.
Year of the German.
Yeah.
His win percentage, I think, right now is in the 67.
They put him against Wenger, Pep, Klopp.
They even put Arteta, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't know why they put Arteta.
I don't know why they did that.
His record's not as bad as people think, though.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So you going with 2-0. What you saying?
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
I'll go 3-1.
3-1. Okay, look, I'll go with the 2-0. That's at 15-2. So we put that in there. I'm going to take a little £5. I'm going to put £5, little responsible gamble on that.
I'll probably get a little consolation.
There you go. But I'm going to put a bit of a left field one in there. I'm going to put a left field. I'm going to go 3-0 United. No, I'm joking. I'm going to throw in a little 2-2.
Okay.
A little 2-2.
What's your theory on this then?
I ain't got one. I'm just going with 2-2.
Ronaldo vibes.
Just every now and then, like a weird shock. I'm going to throw a little 2-2 in there. I'm going to put it's a little one, little £2.50, a little responsible little flutter on a little 2-2 coming in. And there we go, little 2-on-2. There we go. So that's done. Let's see what happens on that one, people. But that's what we're going with here. I did want to ask one more thing before we go. Yeah. I know we're getting towards the end of the stream now, but maybe I shouldn't bring this up because it might trigger some. Was Klopp serious when he called the AFCON little, or did he mean it as a joke?
Yeah.
Did he mean it as a joke?
No. He just tried. I feel like he just tried to downplay the level.
Yeah. No,
that's what he tried to do in terms of like the technical football side of things. He tried to play down the level. Like,
he said he didn't mean it, but
no.
I know what he tried to do. He tried to downplay the level.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because what he said is he was being sarcastic. I still don't understand what he meant by he was being sarcastic, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, considering he's not to be fair, he's the one who said he's a native speaker, but I'm saying he's not English, innit?
Yeah.
Cool. So I can give him the benefit of the doubt. But as a manager, doesn't matter what you meant. You just say sorry. If you say sorry, it doesn't become a big deal. It's when he started defending himself.
Yeah, but if you say sorry, if he didn't, I don't know.
No, you can apologize for not me because you can apologize and say, I didn't mean it in the way that it came across.
Yeah, you can do that.
Then everyone leaves it. It becomes a forgotten.
But if you say sorry, you're almost accepting liability. Like you said it.
Yeah.
No. But I think it's worse that he's looking defensive.
When I first heard it,
it's wrong. You just can't say
that.
The thing is, it is little.
It's little. You can't say that as a manager.
No. I hear you. You can't.
You as a creator can say that.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So I think he wasn't wrong in what he said was right, but it was wrong for someone in his position to say it. Then he's got this whole, it was sarcasm. I personally didn't hear it as sarcasm, but equally, I weren't triggered by it. When I saw everyone go, he's got to apologize. My view was, why does he have to apologize?
No, but the guy the guy who asked the question, it was an African journalist.
But my point is this: even then, right? the way I saw quote tweets today of the journalist. People were saying this is the best your career is ever going to get. But you're gonna like people really like Liverpool fans went for him. And I was like, listen, if I could have advised this guy before, I'd have said please leave it out because Liverpool fans are a unit.
Yeah.
They don't let anyone go out.
Yeah.
Like, even when someone's wrong in their within their club, they're still generally
back Suarez, even when he was.
Like even when it's there. But for me, like it got weird. People, I was reading it, and people were like, "Oh no, what he meant is he said he didn't say it was a small tournament. He said it's. He even said it's the little matter of, as in." And I'm like, but he didn't say a little matter of. He said a small tournament so I was just like, do you know, it's one of them ones. I just feel like he should have just owned it and then walked away from it. I feel like it's really escalated into something that isn't important, but it's now become a bit important because it's like the sort of the backtracking and I meant it this way. I said it sarcastically. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Brilliant tournament. Let's move on. That's all that had to be said.
Though, man. Especially the players. A lot of players will get offended by that because it's like the way he said it is that people are not going to watch African Cup of Nations or something. Like some irrelevant competition. Like
it is. No, I'm joking.
Hey,
You're nice.
I bet you don't watch it.
I watch it all the time. I
bet you do.
Of course.
I've watched bits of it. I'm only messing around.
African Cup of Nations, don't get me wrong. I love to watch it, but it's also entertaining at the same time.
Yeah. In terms of quality,
because it's passion.
It's not there,
do you know what I used to love about watching it when I was younger? When I used to watch it, it was just pure all-out attack. It was just pure. It was great.
Yeah.
No, and I agree. Look, it's not. But the point is, I'm making a joke in. If somebody was offended by it, I'd be like, I'm clearly making a joke, so I'm not apologizing. I do get the point where Klopp is. I would have just almost brushed it. If I honestly was Klopp, you could either do what you said around, didn't mean it. Sorry if I offended you. Move on. I would have gone the other way. I'd have listened to the question. I said, next one, please. I'd have just, I personally would have done that.
Crazy. That journalist was on smoke.
I would have done that. But
was onto him.
Yeah, he was onto it too. He was like, you have to apologize to the whole African country. And look, for me, someone who is from an African country, I think, look, at the end of the day, I can be objective enough to understand that the AFCON isn't the biggest international tournament. It isn't. Like, if someone said it was a little tournament, I wouldn't even take
it's like the second bit. I would say it's like the Euros, AFCON, Copper.
I'd even say Copper's bigger than the AFCON.
Copper's way bigger.
Yeah,
I've never watched that.
Come on,
America was good.
Never watched it.
Brazil, Colombia,
two good teams. Two good teams.
Bolivia.
Absolute nonsense football down there. No, I ain't joking again. I just mess it out. I get it.
But yeah, you just when you're a manager, you just can't. Like, you just can't.
It's better than what is the one with the where America? Is it the CONCACAF or the
CONCACAF?
Gold Cup. Gold Cup. I mean, that's you're better than the AFCON's better than that. 100% better than that. There's no doubt. But
Gold Cup is USA, Mexico. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not being rude, by the way.
Yeah, but it's one of them ones, isn't it? It just is what it is. I was reading it today and I was busting up on my timeline. I was like, look, the way I saw my guy Grizz Khan, the way he kind of quote tweeted this guy, and it was like, but it wasn't just Grizz. I then looked at all the quote tweets of this guy's tweet, but every Liverpool fan was, and I was like, look, and I mean this in a positive way. If you want to take it negatively, again, don't care. I was like, look at them go. Look at them go, these Liverpool fans. Man United fans aren't like that. If it was our manager that did it, Ollie was here, we'd all be going, yeah, you got to resign for that. Like, they wouldn't him out.
I think what's even more funny about it is that they backed him so much that different Liverpool fans had different explanations as to what Klopp actually meant.
Yeah.
So funny.
Klopp's their messiah right now, man.
Yeah, it was like that. Oh, you meant it sarcastically, and then somebody said no. He said there's the little matter of, which isn't. But that's not a sarcastic phrase. So which is it? Like, it can't be sarcastic and that phrase at the same time. But that's what I like. It's almost like Liverpool get into their little groups and it's like, right, what do we all write to defend him? It's like there's a big fuck off WhatsApp group that they're all in, and then the leader, there's like 5 or 6 leaders of the hive mind, and they come out and say, right, this is the rhetoric, and they all go, yes sir, and they all go out and they write that stuff because it's a madness. It's just like when Dele Alli died for a penalty. Nudes on the internet by the evening.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was it that player that played for, there was a striker, or I want to say it was at Burnley, scored against them? A bad tweet from when he was like 12 came out. They hunt you down. They get you. They are on you.
The internet works so fast, man.
Not get on their bad side.
I would love to know what like Sadio Mane and Naby Keita and Salah probably thought about them comments.
And Matip as well.
A
lot of their key players are going.
What do you think they heard that? What do you think they're saying?
I don't know. I mean, Klopp's had a little bit of form for this. Do you remember when he made the Mane comment about he dressed like a rapper because he had a cap on or something? Do you remember that kind of one?
Yeah.
Again, like that. Again, for me, I don't really get it. Like I've got a cap on. I don't look like a. I don't look like a rap. If rap star looks like me, he ain't seen no albums. You know what I mean? Who's that weird rapper with a man bun that Eminem did up bad? Machine Gun.
Yeah.
Who had the fight with McGregor recently?
yeah.
Like, I mean, is he a rapper?
He's still up there. He's
Because I look the way he kind of looks like a weird, cheap Marilyn Manson.
Like
like,
he used to be a sick rapper.
I saw him made it. He made one banger one time. He made one banger one time.
because I don't really. I listen to Michael. I listen to Michael Bublé, so it's not really my thing.
Even I remember
Recently with the guy who did Thrift Shop.
Yeah.
But he's with Megan.
Michael.
Is he with Megan Fox?
Yeah, he's with Megan Fox now, so he's done all right. Yeah.
I think he made a banger.
Yeah, that line from the Eminem song. What is it? How are you gonna name yourself after a gun when you got a man bun? The best lines ever. We've got a super chat. Can we put these super chats up on the screen, please? This is from Josh. It says, Conte quote, after 3 weeks, I'm starting to understand the situation. It's not simple. At this moment, the level of Tottenham is not so high.
Josh. You've seen that already about 10 times.
This is welcome to, is it what is it, Keelan, he said?
It's the history of
It's the
the
history of
Tottenham.
What about the Asia Cup? You man are being disrespectful. Sorry, Pav. Who plays in that?
Invincible. That was a banger.
Did Son?
Do you know what's mad? I always remember some of the boys I used to work with.
Yeah.
When I used to work with a couple of Bengali lads at Barclays, big up yourself, you're watching, boys. And I was sort of like, you don't always understand about what sports are important like in countries. Obviously, I knew that Bangladesh play cricket, and I asked about other sports, and they were just like, don't want to talk about it. I was like, why? They said, and again, I'm only quoting them here. I don't know if this is factual. So if someone wants to educate me, please do. But they were like, we don't really like following the sports in our country. Like, why? Well, most of the men that get picked to play are just the sons of like all the wealthy people in the country. And I was like, wow, like, and they get to go to tournaments and stuff like that. Just like, that's a shame because I always feel like with countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, the amount of people that live there has to be some serious talent. Like, and I played with a lot of boys growing up from sort of Southeast Asia. They were serious footballers, and it just. There needs to be a route because I think the world's missing out there. There has to be a plethora of talent there.
We've got a good young player, Makande, how we pronounce it, from the youngsters. He got like he won the player of the tournament.
What country is he from?
Player of the month. I don't know. He's British Asian, so I'm not sure what country he's from. And obviously
Hamza Chowdhury for Leicester.
Chowdhury, yeah, is an example, but
obviously Son is the best by far.
But even over there, there must be like. Start some academies. There's so many people. Like humans are humans. If there's talent, there's talent. Like out of the millions of people that live there, there's going to be must be some serious level people out there. You've got to uncover it.
The best footballers for me have probably come from like Japan, South Korea.
But they focus on it, don't they? Like it's obviously a big focus.
But that's why, like, I saw a recent post. Like, I don't think there's enough
Iran as well.
quality players being produced from the continent. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't see as much. Like, when the Asian player comes to the Premier League, it's a big thing. Do you know what I mean? I think we've got to a point now in football where we should have players from everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, man, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, true, absolutely. But viewers, listen, everybody that has tuned in to the Football Terrace today, a massive thank you to each and every one of you. Big up the panel tonight. Thank you to Bet Victor for making this possible again. Do me a favor before you leave and smash like buttons and subscribe. We're back tomorrow. Remember, Friday night on the Terrace is back. It was a banger tonight. Monster in the house. Nini was here. The Grand Dam was here. Have Hope was in the house. Adam Childs. KJ, of course, was here. Who else was in the studio tonight? There's more people. Prime was in the house. We had Bear Chelsea guys. We had Lies in the house and lots more. Until tomorrow, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.